Everybody wants to be loved, but no one wants to love.
Everyone wants to be valued, but no one wants to value themselves.
Everybody wants respect, but no one gives respect.
Everyone wants to see a change, but no one wants to be the change.
See, I feel like change, it starts with me. It starts with you. A change takes place one at a time. And I feel like, in the big picture, how the world is nowadays, it's so messed up, and everybody's like, what do we do to change it? How do we go from point A to point B? Well, you start by changing yourself. Just like the Michael Jackson song says, man in the mirror. We got to take a look in the mirror and really look at ourselves, what we're worth. I mean, scripture tells us, it says, be ye not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
I believe once you transform your mind, you begin to think a different way. You begin to walk a different way, talk a different way, dress a different way. Everything that you do will begin to change for the better. This is when you transform your mind. You would no longer think negative things. You always be trying to think of something positive, a way to be productive, a way to advance yourself in life. And this is what it takes to change the world. It starts with you, but you can't even change until you transform your mind.
My greatest enemy is my inner me. And see, if we don't work on our inner me ourselves, then the world will never change. And see, we constantly fool ourselves thinking that, the world is going to change. But like I said, if we do not change ourselves from the inside out, by renewing our mind, by getting the good stuff in. See, if you don't put the right stuff in your mind, the right stuff is not going to come out.
It's very important that we understand that what we ask from other people, we have to be willing to become that ourselves, whether it's change, whether it's to be loved, respected, to be forgiven, or whatever. We have to be willing to do it ourselves. And if we're not willing to do it ourselves, then how can we expect for someone else to make that same change or to do what we're asking? So it's very important that before we ask, we need to make sure that we're willing to do it ourselves. We have to check ourselves, look at our own selves in the mirror, and make sure that we're willing to take the change that we expect from others.
You can't give something that's not in you. And see, we have to get to the point in our lives where we're no longer looking at, black and white, or and things like that. It's all about good, versus evil. Are you going to be a good person today? Are you going to be an evil type person today? We have to step into the real world knowing that, hey, it's time for us to really look in the mirror, take responsibility, and say, hey, I am going to be the change today. I just decided, to make myself a better person daily, and it shows, people want to be around you. People like to, to interact with you when you have truly showed that you have changed.
We're not willing to make a change. I feel like it's selfish on our part, to ask for everyone else to change, and then we don't want to change who we are. Often as parents and guardians and as adults, we ask our kids to go to school and get an education, and you be a doctor, and you be a lawyer, and you be a judge. We ask them to do all these different things, but we never take in consideration, what if our child or the younger people would like to be like us? What if they wanted to pattern their lives after us? So are we the standard that we're trying to set? Are we the change that we're trying to bring upon the younger generation lives? And that's why I say it's very important that we become the change that we wish for everyone else to become.
When you work on the inner you then become developed for a new birth. Yeah, I like that one.
And when it comes to change, it will even involve you having to maybe find a new group of friends. Or you may have to choose different places to go to. I mean, things will have to change along with your change. But first and foremost, you have to be able to commit to the change that you're willing to make. And when I say you have to commit to it, you're binding yourself to it. You're not letting anything else discourage you. You're not letting anything else break this commitment that you have, simply because you want this change this bad. And you have to understand, any change that you make will affect other people. But how you change is what's going to determine how you will affect other people. You know, and the change, it has to start with you. It has to start with you. It's very important. You know, I will use myself. I care for my family so much. I care for my friends so much that I was willing to sacrifice myself to become the change that I wish to see them become. And I love them that much. And that's what I did. And every day I still work on change. I work on change. I work on trying to be better. I work on personal development, on what I can do to better myself. And this is what it's about. And I promise, once you become that change, there'll be people that want to follow the change that you have made.
Yeah, I feel like personal development is very key, you know, when it comes to, you know, taking about a change in your life. The only way someone can develop themselves is, you know, is by personally, you know, diving into the right books. You know, and my favorite book is the Bible. You know, you dive into it and you break it down, and as you're studying it, you know, it gives you what you need. You know, I got this quote that says, if there's no enemy, you know, on the inside, then what's on the outside will have no effect. And see, that lets you know that if you are good on the inside, you have set yourself up to where you will not even be affected by the naysayers or the negative things and all the haters that's out there. So what I'm telling you is right now, yes, personal development is very key. It's very important in your life if you want to develop yourself personally. And that's all it is. You know, you have to, you know, be renewed and really focus on becoming the man that you were created to be, becoming the woman, the person that you were created to be. And that starts by renewing your mind. Like I said, I mean, it's just that powerful. I've seen people change, you know, and change doesn't take place overnight. You know, change takes place with consistent effort over time. So it's not going to happen overnight. It's just the way, you know, when you first start working out and you're trying to change your body. You can go in the gym that one night and really get at it real hard, but your body is not going to be changed, you know, for everyone to see. So over time, after spending weeks and months in the gym, then when you step out, you know, 4 or 5 months down the road, then you can see a change. And see, we, as you know, as a nation, you know, as people, I feel like everyone needs, you know, to take in personal development, read some books, you know, and get the right audio and get the right stuff in your mind.
Even when it comes to love, you know, the Bible said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son so that we can have eternal life. Now I ask you, do you love your children enough? Do you love your family enough? Do you love your friends enough? Do you care for this world enough to become the change that you wish? Do you love them enough? And this is what I'm saying, because if you do, you're willing to sacrifice yourself. You're willing to give yourself. You're willing to be the example, to be the change that you wish for them to become. So that's something that I can't clarify it enough. There's something that we really need to take into consideration. You know, this world has to change. Don't wait until your child is a victim of murder. Don't wait till your child is a victim of suicide. Don't wait till your child is locked up. Don't wait till your child is homeless, you know, or whatever. Don't wait until you are in that situation before you become the change. You have to try to change now. There are people that want to help you. I want to help you. If there's anything I can do to you, I'll do for you. I'm willing to do for you, because I don't have to know you to help you, because that's how bad that I wish for this world to change. That's how eager I am for everyone to change and to become the fullest potential that God would want them to be. He wants us to be. And each one teach one. We have to be able to train each other. We have to be able to help one another. There's no reason to be pushing people to a side. There's no reason to talk down on anyone else. Lift everyone up. I really believe hope changes everything. And when we start pushing hope, when we start encouraging one another, and we start showing each other there's a way, there's another way, there's a better way of life, it's possible. I'm evidence that it is possible. The things that I've been through in life, I mean, I've been through some things, and I know that I'm here right now living in purpose. I often get asked questions, you know, Dwayne, why is it that, where did you get that drive from? Like, where did you get it from? And honestly, my answer, my drive came is because I'm driven with purpose now. where I used to be blind, I could care less about life. But when I decided to change, all I could see is passion. The passion that I have to help others. And because I'm so grateful for what God has done for me in my life, that I'm willing again to sacrifice. I'm willing to be able to help somebody else. I'm willing to testify to somebody else. I'm willing to speak to somebody else, or whatever I can do to encourage somebody else, simply because I want them to make a change. I want to be the evidence. That's fine with me, to be the evidence. Hey, if God can do it for me, He can do it for you. There's no excuses. So we have to stop whining and complaining. We have to stop blaming everyone else for the choices that we make. Again, I say it again, that the world's opinion of you does not become your reality unless you say so. So if you saying that they're right, then that's your reality. But if you know that they are wrong, then prove it. Be the change. You be the reality. You be what everybody else needs. You have to.
I do feel like the one thing that the world needs more of is love. True, authentic, agape love. And once we actually get exposed to that, and we see that there are some genuine people out here in the world, see, that love is what's going to change us. You know, when you really think about it, all the stuff that's going on in the world, people are looking at things, whether it's a man or a woman, or whether it's material things. See, they're looking for something to replace a void in their life. And see, they don't know that the thing that they're missing is actually God. Because see, God is love. And they're trying to find love in all these other places. But once they actually find God, we find Christ. The world, man, will be transformed from the inside.
I just want to encourage you, to let you know, do not give up on life. Do not give up on your goal. Do not give up on your dream. Do not give up on change. Just commit to it. Commit and make the change. Don't give up. Believe in what you're doing. Don't let anyone discourage you. You deserve it. No one deserves to be homeless. No one deserves to be beat up. No one deserves to be unforgiven. No one deserves to be disrespected. No one deserves not to be loved. No one deserves not to be valued. But the honest truth, if you deserve it, prove it. Start with yourself. You become that. And when you become that, when you become the value, when you become the love, when you become the forgiveness, when you become the joy, when you become the peace, when you become the change, then everyone else will begin to have the desire to become that. Then everyone else will be able to see the change that you have made. They will begin to see all of those things that you've done, that you've accomplished. They'll begin to see it within you. And it'll begin to make them want it. It'll begin to make them believe that it's possible to have it. Because I was that same person. I didn't believe it. But then now I do. And it all came down to me committing to the change that I wanted. It came down to me becoming the change that I wanted. It came down to me wanting to be able to help someone else to become the change. It came down to me even sacrificing myself as a parent. I don't want my kids to grow up and fall victim to the things that I went through in life. I don't want my kids to struggle in life. I don't want my kids to deal with any of the things that I did in my life, in my past. And especially the things that's going on in the world now. I want to be able to show my kids. I want to be able to do that. I want to be the example. I want to be able to do my part, do everything I can, so if they was to stray away, I know that I did my part. I was the change that I wish for them to become. And this is the same change that I'm asking you to make, that we're asking you to make. You become the change. You become the evidence. You become the testimony. You become the hope. Because hope changes everything.